Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, somewhere in between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. This is the Agree to Disagree show. Thank you for joining us on Tuesday, November 19, 2024. My name is Brian Engelman. That is TV's Blake Walley. Follow him on X. He's at TV's Blake Walley. And we're going to talk about all the cool things happening in the news and all the not so cool things happening in the news, such as, Blake, quick question right off the top. I want to know, where else in America can you get fired? And then they just kind of let you hang around for a couple extra months to see how much you can steal, see how much you can ruin, see how many relationships you could damage, see how much sabotage you could create. Most places you're kind of led out by security. I've worked those places, and the first time it happened, I'm like, what's happening? Like, well, you can't. I'm like, hold on, I can't even say like a goodbye email. Like, I just, hey guys, if you want to follow me, I'm in. And they, all right, but we have to check it before you send it. I'm like, I'm just saying, like, I'm going to this other place since you guys are done with me. I made some relationships here. Like I was like escorted out of a place with security. But Joe Biden, with Barack Obama handling the puppet strings, gets to kind of, push World War III and steal money to Ukraine. And we're going, I thought we fired you. Why are you still here? Any thoughts on that, Blake?
Well, I think they've cut the lame duck period in half, actually. I think back a long time ago, it was like 6 months. Like it was a long transition period. But I mean, that was before we even had a highway system, much less planes or whatever. It's a lot easier to do these things. Yeah, there should be a faster turnover, you would think, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, it's November and December to January, so maybe less than 3 months. Maybe they could trim a month off of that. It's hard to say. But yeah, it kind of is the issue. Now, I don't know if these people are necessarily going to sabotage, but they certainly can. They certainly are capable, and it's a different business. Because in the corporate world, enough people, not like everybody, but enough people that do, like, oh, they're trying to be cool. Like, hey, we'll just give you 2 weeks, and then they can use those 2 weeks to destroy your company, subvert and destroy and sabotage if they wanted to. Which is why I think they know the rule, or the procedure is just to fire people on Friday and yes, have them escorted out by security, so they're not allowed to mess things up, because 5 to 10% of the people might.
Yeah, it's just really strange to me. It just feels strange to me that we can't get rid of these people. They're just hanging around, and God knows what trouble they could get into in the next 2 months before the reins are passed. We'll see how it shakes out, I suppose. I'm trying to go live. It looks like I'm going live, but it's not giving me the chance to show the Facebook screen here. So let's do this. I will hit the intro to our show. I'm going to hit refresh, and I'll be right back here. And we're going to start the Agree to Disagree show. Yes.
Okay.
All the memories, Blake. Which of those memories was your favorite in that intro?
I mean, obviously the one that sticks out there at the end was pretty good. That was Joe Biggs and the InfoWars crew at the little after party of sorts at the RNC 2016. You know, the Politicon events and stuff were cool. Yeah, the RNC Cleveland was a pretty good one. We got a lot of good. That was one where we really got the good credentials and kind of got to do what we wanted to do. So that was cool. That was, I think, the best one out of all. I mean, like the Politicon events are cool. I'd like to go again if they do those anymore. I'm not sure if they do. I don't remember all the events, but yeah, we've been around a lot. So
absolutely.
I don't think, do we have one for J6? There's probably more that we could add on there. Yeah.
All right.
That was just the first cut anyway.
Yeah. I mean, J6, the conventions, Scott Pressler and Gerald A. Morgan, like
new ones. Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's been interesting. I don't know. We're trying to follow the news and see what's interesting out there. Blake's follow him as he follows the news on X at TV's Blake Walley, and his archive is The Next Level News. Yeah, still haven't figured out what's going on for inauguration this year, but kind of feels like it's something.
Your favorite event of that group? I remember getting absolutely humiliated in ping pong by Rob Dew on that. Also, he's like 6'5" with big long arms, and he covers the whole table. And yeah.
Now, if we were playing Alex, that would be different. He's got more of those T-Rex arms, smaller arms, wider base.
Right, but he didn't show up. I guess he was out partying with Roger Stone and his own thing. He didn't show up to his own event. So, but whatever. It was all good.
Yeah, it was a good time for sure. Okay. Well, yeah, now you got me thinking about that. I can't start a show off trying to do an Alex Jones impression. Although I did see Will Sasso doing his Jesse Ventura impression. If you've never heard it, it's close to spot on. It's a really good one. Equally taxing on the vocal cords, I think. Do you know Will Sasso? I think he was on Mad TV.
No, I don't know that one.
He does a great. Maybe I'll try to find a clip as we go along. But let's jump into the news because we're not.
Jim Brewer doing Norm Macdonald. That's good.
Hold on, Jim Brewer doing Norm?
Yeah, it's a great video I saw the other day about. I guess they had some rival, SNL behind the scenes, inside baseball. Him and Chris Kattan. I guess they had an incident. It's worth checking out. It's pretty funny.
Oh yeah. They did. Norm gave Chris Kattan a lot of grief.
Yeah, but it was deserved, I guess, from what I understand. He pushed and pushed and pushed until he finally got it. Yeah. All right. I like them both. Whatever. I don't care about any of the personal stuff. It's interesting to hear the inside baseball. Like I love the shoot videos for WWF or WWE, all the old wrestling stories. Or sports story, the things you never hear about, like what actually happens behind the scenes, kind of humanize the people. Yeah,
those are always good for sure. I want to see if I can find Will Sasso, Jesse Ventura. It's the first thing that pops up. Let me just play it because it's so good. I think it's we'll go with this one. Here we go. I'm having a problem. Are you seeing on the top of your screen 50% off only this Black Friday? Because it's right where I would share there's a button there that I would.
Oh, I thought mine's on the bottom. Share screen.
No, but there's something else that usually pops up because I was trying to stream through Facebook today. So I don't have access to it. Okay, let me pull up this just since we're talking about it. We like to start off with a little bit of humor.
Who is Will Sasso?
Will Sasso.
Who is he?
I told you he's from Mad TV, actor, comedian.
Oh, way back in the day, like 30 years ago?
I guess. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff. But here you go. Keep in mind, this is not actually Jesse Ventura. This is a guy named Will Sasso.
Is Jesse Ventura still in the Baja?
He's still in the Baja. I don't even live in the United States of America for 6 months out of the year. I'm down in the Baja. There's more regulations. There's less laws. the building codes. You can do whatever you want down there with building codes. I can build a home straight up into the sky if I want. My house is actually shaped like me. I have a great crew out there in the Baja that I got from Rosarito.
Come on, Blake. That's a pretty decent
Good enough.
Jesse Ventura impression, right?
Good enough. Where does this come from? Is it just something new?
I don't know. He's been doing that impression for a long time, and I just happened to stumble across it.
Ah.
And Jesse, he's a bit of a legend in the space, and Jesse's got his own legacy, his own interesting place in the alternative media, the libertarian movement. I was actually talking to a sniper friend of mine, Navy SEAL actually, and he's not a fan. And there's quite a few people that are not fans of Jesse Ventura. But I digress, and I got no horse in the race. I just know I read Jesse Ventura's book, I Ain't Got Time to Bleed, back in the late 90s. And I was like, I like this libertarian stuff. I like this Jesse Ventura. I like someone from the outside coming in. And I was like, all right. So, Jesse was like a key part to pushing forward in the new American media.
Sure was.
All right. So Blake is going to look around and find some stuff. And we are going to start with our first story of the day. I think this is a nice place to start because it could be the last story we ever cover, Blake. On the way out the door, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and of course it's Barack Hussein Obama, Victoria Nuland, and all the other deep state idiots who've been lying to us for all these years, stealing our wealth and killing people by the hundreds of thousands for profit. They have changed some of their regulations and said, hey, Ukraine, why don't you go ahead and shoot those missiles of ours into that big country over there? We're going to change the game a little bit because we got 2 months to either ruin the country, ruin the economy, start World War III. Maybe we could create some sort of national crisis where we can't turn over power of our country to the new elected leader. Maybe this calls for, we're in an emergency now. We just have to stay the course. We can't transition. Who knows? But it sure seems like treachery could be afoot, Blake. What say you? Agree or disagree that we should conquer Russia before Trump takes over?
Yeah, disagree. I suppose this is tying into your point in the beginning of the show. Should we let people continue to stay in their positions? This is not a good thing because it's right. They could keep themselves into power if we get into some sort of a conflict. It'd be like, too late. Well, sorry, we're in a state of emergency. We're in a state of war. Sorry, Trump and crew, but we got to devote all resources to helping Zelensky while we go to war with Russia. Maybe they'll decide to put boots on the ground. Who knows? Or they could stage something. I guess they messed up with the Nord Stream pipelines or something else. So they tried to. There was some other missile that blew up, and I think it was in Poland or something, but it ended up being from Ukraine. But they were trying to blame Russia. There's a lot of things that they were trying to blame on Russia, but then they got debunked. So
like Gulf of Tonkin type stuff, like Pearl Harbor type stuff. Like we need something to galvanize the public. 9/11. We need something big to get people into this war. We got to get excited about this war. How about no, we don't. Kenneth likes Rice Putin, not Rasputin, not Vladimir Putin. He likes Rice Putin.
Yeah.
Kenneth met Jesse Ventura. Interesting. I wonder how that went. He's an interesting character. He's in Predator. I ain't got time to bleed.
It's a great character. It's just weird. He turned like really woke in the last several years, which is shocking. Very anti-Trump and joining up with Kamala and the Democrat. That's just, I don't understand what happened there. And after that, weird incident with Chris Kyle. Strange things.
Indeed, strange things. Let's talk about the strange things in Russia, though, Blake. I don't know. What are we supposed to make of this latest thing? Because Russia has obviously decided that they are going to take different measures as well and say, oh, okay, so you're gonna change how you're conducting this operation. All right, we're gonna change our nuclear answer in retaliation as well. It's like, oh, great. We got 2 months. Can we just get 2 months? Why are these fired people making decisions like this? They should be escorted out by security. Blake, could we do that? Should we do that? Should we call in the National Guard to escort them out because they're too dangerous? Should we 25th Amendment Joe Biden because he's clearly being pulled by, like, he's out to lunch and the deep state's going to try to start a war? Should he be 25th Amendmented, as people are suggesting? There's a lot going on here, and it doesn't make me super comfortable.
Right. And it's not even really clear who's actually running the country right now anyway.
Oh, God.
Joe doesn't really make a lot of appearances. He hasn't in a long time. Unless he did a little photo op with Trump last week. But,
and you're convinced that he voted for Trump, right?
It's possible. I think
he was so happy.
Yeah, it's strange to see him that way. But yeah, I still don't have faith that he's actually like running much. I don't think he has in 4 years. But especially now, it's the lame duck session. It's like, what does he do on a daily basis? Not sure. And I'm not really sure what Kamala does either. So we don't know who's actually running anything. But it seems like they could be trying to poke the Russian bear, provoke them, and perhaps stay in power if they can get Russia to strike back. If they get Russia to take the bait, hopefully they won't. Hopefully Putin's a sharp guy, so maybe he sees what they're trying to do and will not overreact. I don't know how much damage was done. But yes, they have had a strike inside Russia all of a sudden now, not in the last few years. No, they had to just pull it off after Trump won, raising even more suspicions. So the escalation of war in Ukraine reaching peak level. Ukraine is reported to have launched U.S. missiles at a target inside of Russia, which could lead to a potential nuclear retaliation. So it came by the border region and of Bryansk. Looks like you, Brian. It's
named after me? Bryansk?
It's Brian's SK.
Bryansk.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm part Russian, sort of. I don't know. Who knows what I really am.
You can have dual citizen. All right. There you go. You can.
I'm from the Middle East. I'm Abdul citizen.
A what?
Abdul citizen? Not Abdul, Abdul. It was a play on words. I was doing a Kenneth. All right, get back to the story about Bryansk. I like that, Bryansk.
Yeah.
Visit. I heard it's beautiful this time of year.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, probably. Yeah, January. It's a good time to.
You got nothing but woo. You got air raid sirens going off nonstop. That sounds good.
Yeah. All right. So Ukraine deploying these missiles to strike a military facility in western Bryansk region. It was the first known attack following a decision by President Biden's administration to approve Kyiv's limited use of weapons to hit targets inside of Russia. Yeah, I thought this was pretty much just coming to an end. But no, they're trying to escalate things again. Of course, Zelensky also has stayed in power because of emergency sort of powers, and they're not doing another election, which is, I guess, the playbook that they're going to try to replicate here. If
but
they're
we already had our election, that's the thing. It's already done. Are they really like they have to be trying something? They weaponized COVID last time. There's no reason to suspect that they're going to play nice this time. We'll get to Mika. I'm thinking Minka Fitzpatrick.
Brzezinski. Yep.
Yeah, their big new Brzezinski. You want to look and see who's at the root of most of this rot way before Obama was even around to execute it. Yeah, Brzezinski was writing the damn playbook on it. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, there's playing along, there's getting nice, and then there's realizing just how dangerous things are right now. So, and I'm sorry, go ahead. Where were you?
No, that's all.
Okay.
I think that's about it. Yeah, there's just firing some missiles, some war games going on, and hopefully it wasn't too bad. They're kind of just testing to see what Putin will respond. Not a good idea for anybody to for anything to escalate over there because Russia is quite formidable, and we still have quite a military, but we have a pretty bad corruption problem. This was left out of the stack because I didn't really know how to phrase it, but the Pentagon has also failed their 7th audit in a row. But hey, it's no worries. And they'll aim for a clean audit in 4 more years. In 2028, I'm sure they'll get the books balanced by then. Have no fear. Fret not.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Let me play it here. I think this is it. I gotta press pause. Here we go. Wait, is this gonna be it? Hold on. No, that's not gonna be it. It reminds me of the scene. Hang on. Well, it was a scene in Men in Black where they say, "You don't think we really spent $5,000 on a toilet, did you? Or a toilet seat? Was it?"
That was Independence Day, right? That was with Will Smith. Jeff Goldblum. I think that's what it was. But I know that there's obviously a black budget thing going on with Men in Black too. So, and that also goes into all the conspiracy theory that they think something catastrophic is going to happen. There's going to be a cataclysm, and they don't really care. They're just going to burn money wherever. It's because it's about continuity of government after shit hits the fan, and so the money won't matter. But I don't know.
Please follow me.
Was Independence Day, Area 51.
Floors beneath the surface.
We're gonna get copyright. Yep.
Here's our
Well,
main
we're
research
providing
facility.
commentary over top.
Let's see it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. It's a clean room. We have to keep it static free. We'll all go to
Open
decontamination.
the door.
So, I mean, the president doesn't even know this stuff is going on, obviously, and this is about the Pentagon black budget, of course.
Yes, sir.
So he's very interested, and he's getting in there now. And the size and scope of this is kind of bewildering, baffling, astonishing. And he's been kept out of the loop. The president of the United States isn't even aware that this is happening. So,
My God. Why the hell wasn't I told about this place?
2 words, Mr. President. Plausible deniability.
that's one of my favorite lines of any movie. Why wasn't I told about this place? 2 words, Mr. President. Plausible deniability. It's easier to lie about something if you don't know that it's there, so you're not actually lying.
I told about this place.
2 words, Mr. President. Plausible deniability.
So it's all of these facilities, all these workers, it's an entire city underground.
Where does all this come from? How do you get funding for something like this? You don't actually think they spend $20,000 on a hammer, $30,000 on a toilet seat, do you?
Mr. President, this
There you go. Blake, you don't
Yep.
think they actually spend $20,000 on a hammer, $30,000 on a toilet seat, do you? And that's it in a nutshell. That's exactly what the Pentagon's doing. They're failing every budget over and over. And yet, that, you know, once again, that report just came out again today. What they're missing almost $1 trillion, 856 billion. I can't even count these numbers, Blake. It's
Right.
absolutely absurd.
Yeah, it's absurd. It's been happening for 20 years. That movie's old now, and it was a kind of an open joke back then. And it's, it's same playbook going on. Like, oops, where's the money? I don't know. So I don't know exactly how much is missing. I remember the 2.3 trillion after 9/11, and then it's just been more of the same. And yeah, that's exactly, that was the auditing. It was the the hammer and the toilet seat, and how they're inflating all the numbers and trying to hide it from the publicly taxpayers who are funding giant black budget projects. And Area 51 is just one of them. They've probably got major underground facilities and secret bases all over the country.
They're saying this is the seventh straight audit that the Pentagon has failed, and they can't account for $824 billion. So yeah, that's close to $1 trillion. Am I doing that math right? All this
At this point, yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Astonishing numbers that nobody could ever pay back. Why bother? Why try? Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. And my cat is trying to bite on the phone that I had up there, and he's changing the channel, so I got to grab that. Okay, let's move.
Still naughty after all these years.
What
Naughty
after all these
Nimbus.
years? Naughty Nimbus, yes. All right, next topic. All right, well, what about this one? This was the one that Blake went and put as our thumbnail picture. Do you have the ability to show us the picture of the thumbnail, sir? I don't know if you have that.
I can pull it up. Yeah, I mean, I just really whipped this up together at the last minute. So,
yeah, but this is a big story. It's interesting, and we're wondering if we agree or disagree that we should give Morning Joe a chance at redemption. Look at that, forgive or forget. There's Mika and Joe Scarborough, who had a situation with an intern all those years ago, and they went down to Mar-a-Lago to talk with President Trump. Blake, it matters to President Trump what these people think. He doesn't want them constantly running their mouths and lying about him to destroy him. Is this a smart move? Should we give him a chance at redemption? Or is this just, you know what, toss double-barreled middle fingers and they get what they deserve? Go after them now.
Yeah, I'm all for that. And not that I have an axe to grind with them, but I do think I think Joe is compromised. I do think there's something going on with him and the intern, and that's how he got blackmailed into that position. That's when there's the pros and cons. You murder your intern, but now they got so much dirt on you, they'll give you a really good job, but you got to play ball and do whatever they want. And then he's even got married to Mika Brzezinski, who's the daughter of Zbigniew, who was right up there with Henry Kissinger as a big mover and shaker and a warmonger. So it's really, and she's openly kind of bragged about how they control information and how people should dismiss people like us and get their news straight from them. No, I've never liked her. And MSNBC is a joke. Their ratings have taken a major dive since Trump got reelected. After they were just talking like the last couple of weeks about how he's like the rise of the Führer is back, and then it's a big Nazi rally in New York. They've said a lot of inflammatory things, and of course, Joe was the one putting out Joe Biden right before the debate, saying he's sharp as a tack. That's where all that, I believe that's where that talking point came from, or at least he was one of the most prominent voices. He was saying, I'll even go out on a limb and say this is the sharpest I've ever seen him. Like, you can't, that's one of the worst lies that just got obliterated. See, there's no reason to take him seriously. And I have no idea, honestly, I don't know why they would go to Mar-a-Lago and it's a secret meeting. Like I've been kind of out of the loop because I've been busy moving and everything recently. So I'm trying to get caught up on everything. But this is one of those, I don't know what to make of that. These are clear enemies of the people. And that's what Trump has said many times, that the mainstream media is the enemy of the people. And we're seeing that more and more. So why would they allow these two clowns to come visit? Unless he's there to troll them like Mitt Romney, trying to get the Secretary of State position at that dinner. Maybe I would think that would be the best thing that they would do. Or why is it secret? What are they talking about? Like, it is very curious. I don't understand it, but a lot of people are nobody's liking this. Whether you're a fan of Morning Joe or not, it's not a good look. I think Megyn Kelly was very vocal, but I've seen about 30 seconds of her monologue where she's saying, go F yourselves over the meeting. They're dishonest jokes of journalists. Let's pull this one up here. So they've suddenly decided that they want to be all diplomatic with President-elect Donald Trump after openly calling him a Nazi days before the election, and it has not gone down well for them at all. They announced they traveled to Mar-a-Lago to meet personally with Trump. Why did they let him in? I don't understand why this happens. So I said, Joe was saying it was the first time we've seen him in 7 years. They talked about a lot of issues, including abortion, mass deportation, threats of political retribution against political opponents, and media outlets. We talked about that a good bit. I could see maybe if they were just begging to please don't come after us or trying to make a deal. I don't know. That could be something. Maybe they're willing to do something up at MSNBC or there's just spill the tea, and that's fine too. Let the rats destroy themselves.
Oh, by the way, do you know what rats means? There's a new term that we're going to start using called rat. Rats. Have you heard it? Republicans against Trump.
Okay.
It takes rhinos and it makes it a lot slimier and more specific. Rats. Republicans against Trump. So John Thune is on a very short list. Very short leash, rather. I'm not.
Okay, no, I'm all for that. So the Bill Cristols and the Rick Wilsons and these Lincoln Project grifters, all these the neocon never Trumpers, the Nikki Haley's, and so many. Okay, we'll start using that. The rats.
Yes, never Nikki. The never Nickies.
Yeah.
I did Blake's always trying to get me to do more short content. And I remember I did one. It was like a 30-second or 60-second. I just kind of kept saying, never Nikki. I was like loopy. It was late at night. And for like 60 seconds, I just stared at the camera like, you can't say Beetlejuice 3 times. You can't say Bloody Mary 3 times. So I was saying never Nikki.
There you go.
It's one of my finer YouTube shorts. You should go find it. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they hope to gain. They are so in the tank. But once again, Blake, this comes down to the age-old question: do these propagandists, do they know that they're spewing propaganda, or do they actually believe the lies? Like where do they begin? Where does the orders they're told what to read versus what they feel obligated to say versus they know they're doing the wrong thing intentionally, committing crimes? Like, where do you land with these two? Like, they're just irredeemable. They've made their bed. Let them deal with the concrete once it settles. They did this to themselves, and they're on the wrong team. Screw them. Or can you win them back over? Like, what? I don't know the point either. I'm trying to make sense of it.
No, I think they're beyond redemption. I just don't know how they come out of that environment. Like if Joe's blackmailed because he killed an intern, and if
Allegedly.
Micah, if he's blackmailed because he perhaps did that, and Micah as the daughter of a globalist kingpin, I can't trust either one of these people, nor do I trust them in MSNBC. I think all of the people on MSNBC are absolute. No, there's not.
Are they lunatics or they're active participants in the coups and the treason that they've been staging on us ever since Obama came into play? Like, are they active participants in the coup and treason? I mean, how do you let these people off the hook if they are literally causing brain damage to the people out there who are trying to watch this content, thinking they're getting news? I mean, they are definitely culpable to some degree.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think there's any good voice on MSNBC. There might be a couple that are okay on CNN, but it's not much. It's not the regular people. No. I also believe that this is like a CIA type of or military intelligence operation. This has been well known for decades that they've compromised these news organizations in the interests of national security. So I can't trust most of these people. Like someone like Nicole Wallace, and I'm sure Rachel Maddow. I'm sure a lot of these people are absolutely they're taking their marching orders. They know exactly what they're doing. Now, there's a lot of useful idiot influencers on Twitter or something. Those people might not. They might be naive, which is why they're useful idiots, because they believe the propaganda. So they're happy to promote it, and most of them are paid. There's all this big AstroTurf campaign. So
what about here? You have that the staff are revolting. What did they say? Like they're saying if Jeff Bezos and his companies didn't endorse Kamala, they're going to quit their jobs. They didn't quit their jobs. They're threatening it because, they need to endorse the worst candidate we've ever seen. So now their staff are revolting against them. They've lost all their viewers, Blake. Maybe they're just trying to get some viewers again. By the way, shout out to the 60 people watching us live. Thank you very much. If you have anything to add to the show, leave it in the chat in your comment section. If you're watching us live, where's most of it coming from? It looks like we're getting a lot of our audience.
Probably
Holy
Twitter.
shnikey, it's all through X. All right, Blake is at TV's Blake Walley, and we are at American_media_. Thank you to those 53 people just on X alone. Appreciate that. It's so interesting. We have so many followers, subscribers on YouTube, but like the audience is finding us on X. Thank you, Elon. This will be my daily thank you to Elon. Maybe we should do that. Like in Orwell's 1984, they have like a 2 minutes hate. and they just got and go after Goldberg for like 2 minutes or whatever. Maybe we should have like praise to Elon. Woo! We have one site. We have one site that our shit won't get censored. Yoo-hoo!
Yeah.
I mean, it is a good thing.
And Rumble, yeah.
And it's helped. I got to figure out how to stream live on Rumble. By the way, Blake, I did figure out Instagram for the New American Media. I have TNAM official. That Instagram, I can go live. They've disabled it for the New American Media Instagram. You don't need a paid account. You don't need a profile. You don't need to pay a month. I can do it. I used to be able to do it. They eliminated that as a function for me on the New American Media Instagram, but I can go live on TNAM official Instagram.
But just as a personal thing, right? You can't lose it on like Restream. You have to like just go specifically on Instagram and go live, just like you would on Facebook. Like you can do that on Facebook, obviously.
I don't know. I'm still learning all this stuff. Frankly, I would love to work for someone that has a production team in place and that could really help achieve the goals and handle the legwork of this. And I think that's in the works. I think I'm going to be reaching out to more people than I ever have because I really haven't. But yeah, I would really love to join a network that has some production elements in place that could help navigate all the finer points of this stuff. But anyway, side issue. Yeah, what I was talking about is MSNBC losing their audience. Maybe this is just a way to try to get some sanity in the programs, and then maybe you'll start attracting some of those Fox News viewers. Nobody wants to hear 5 cackling hens on The View with the same stupid opinions. Mix it up. Make it 3-2, 3-3. Give us a back and forth. They would get their asses kicked so badly, though. Imagine Megyn Kelly or Candace Owens or pick your View cast alternate. Like they couldn't handle the ass whooping they would get. They have to be in an echo chamber, or else all of their bullshit is quickly exposed, debunked, and the people trying to spout it are humiliated. I don't know that they can stand up to scrutiny and a robust conversation on the matters of the day. They only put out the echo chamber stuff. There's that one good guy, Scott something on CNN. Other than that, it's like I can't remember the last good commentator that CNN has had. They've had him over the years, Tucker and Glenn Beck, and a lot of people have gone in and out of there, but I can't remember the last time someone's been there consistently for the past 5 years, 10 years, 15 years.
Lou Dobbs and Larry King.
Lou Dobbs was great.
Yeah, Jesse Ventura, right? Or was he on MSNBC? I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but
He's on one of them.
Well, what do you have here about MSNBC dropping in ratings? That is a astonishing number as everyone flocks over to podcasts.
Yeah, no, I know. Especially with Trump getting back in, you'd think they would be tuning in so that they could be for the resistance again, so they could be their voice of sanity for the Trump era again. But I guess it has not had the same effect like it did last time. So now they're just like, oh, they're just tuning them out. 54% down on MSNBC. That is absolutely staggering. Over half your audience is now like left you, and CNN almost a third. So it's crazy. But yeah, and again,
by the way, according to a Gateway Pundit report as well, and make sure you're following us on Instagram, even though they're a trash meta company. We're the New American Media. According to Gateway Pundit, who we interviewed, Jim Hoft, the guy who runs Gateway Pundit, DNC has fired loyal staffers with 1 day's notice, no severance, and their staff union has erupted in outrage. By the way, that's the company that they're $20 million underwater after raising $2 billion. They wanted to fix our economy, but they can't even fix their own campaign budget with the worst candidate ever. And you know you're going to lose. You might as well just sock it away and money launder it to somebody. Instead, they spend $20 million extra, and now they fired everybody, and the unions are pissed off because the Democrats are awful. You know, it's just so interesting to see that MAGA has become the party of cool. Have Republicans been cool ever in your lifetime, Blake?
No, they were lame as hell up until 2012, 2014, maybe. It's when they started to kind of turn the corner. For me, at least from my standpoint, I always thought they were super. I mean, I kind of liked Ronald Reagan. I thought he was kind of cool. He was an icon. But no.
Reagan had a coolness to him. He had that California cool. He was an actor. You know, he had nice one-liners. He had really great writers. By the way, here, just let me share this with you real quick, if you can read it. reports are saying that Trump is going to give. Hang on. There we go. Trump is going to be giving credentials to podcasters, YouTubers, and social media influencers as part of the White House briefing room. So, like, it's happening. Like, there's never been a better chance for people like us who were credentialed at the 2016 RNC. We have, I mean, it doesn't take long to realize that we're doing our stuff. We are legitimate. We're doing we have a way better batting average than any of these lying legacy media companies. Put us in. Let's go. I would love to do that this year, this term, and in perpetuity moving forward. So I don't know. Is Morning Joe and MSNBC tanking because they suck? Are they tanking because people prefer content like we're providing it, where like people don't feel like they're getting lied to? Maybe it's a combination of all of it. And it's just the end of the life cycle of that lying legacy media.
Yeah, we could see. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be changing quite a bit going forward. It's going to be a completely different dynamic than it has been historically. So, and they got nobody to blame but themselves. So this is with their model. So there's corporate propaganda, and now there's a reckoning. And there's here's some of the percentages of that collapse just within MSNBC. Good. Joy Reid down 54%. And then, yeah, Ari Melber, Chris Hayes, Alex Wagner, Morning Joe at almost 40%. Stephanie Rule, Andrea Mitchell. Yeah, they're all just awful commentators too.
Yeah.
I don't see Maddow though, unfortunately. But I guess she just does weekends now anyway. I don't know if she even does the regular prime time, so maybe they're not even including her. I don't even remember what her schedule is. I used to enjoy roasting her and tormenting her occasionally on Twitter or something. But no, who knows? But these people deserve some sort of retribution for all of the lies they've pushed over the years, and their credibility should be gone and never cut. They should be apologizing, begging forgiveness right now, and ratting out the people that are really pulling the strings there.
Ratting out the rats, as it were. And by the way, talking about Trump being cool and turning MAGA cool and taking over the Republican Party, here's a little compilation. It's probably set to music, so I'll have to. Yep, it'll be. Imagine this to YMCA. So you got Trump, you got Brock Bowers, you got, that's Calvin Ridley. They're all doing the Trump. There's Bosa and the rest of the 49ers doing the Trump. They're all doing the Trump dance. Here's Drake College. He's doing that's a nice one. Nice pronounced elbow action. There you go. There's some more college athletes at Northern Illinois. They're all doing the Trump dance. West Virginia doing the Trump. There's Trump doing his dance, and then he hits that swing, and there they go. The Lions hit the swing, and they're doing the dance. John Jones, of course, unfortunately knocked out, TKO'd Stipe Miocic, who retired after the fight. He's a Cleveland sporting legend. We cover that on our sports show, The Unhappy Hour. But yeah, John Jones, I mean, he did the dance, went over to the president, gave him the belt. I mean, he made, I don't know. It's just, there's a culture shift happening. Everybody's doing the Trump dance, and Trump is starting to get some credit for some things. People have been scared to defend him, scared to support him, bullied into being quiet for the past few years. Sound the trumpets, Ken says. Yes, sound the trumpets. Oh, that'd be cool. Blake, are you excited about our 250th birthday anniversary? Trump is, I don't know if you caught him talking about this, but he has grand plans for a year-long celebration with a whole new Hall of Heroes being erected, like modern-day heroes. And people are saying, oh, hold on. So you're saying there's a really big plan in place, and they are going to get rid of all the traitors and bad guys, and the new batch of people who saved this country from destruction, they're going to get their own Mount Rushmore type thing? Okay, interesting. But have you heard about like the American Games and the 250th birthday party? Trump is really all about this. He's talked about it for a long time. And now all the athletes seem to be buying in. So some sort of Olympic game competition, year-long celebration of American awesomeness, whether it's rockets from Elon or pole vaulting or bench pressing, just like being an American and being awesome. We haven't had any energy. We haven't had any charisma. We haven't felt good about ourselves for a really long time. But now with Trump, it's like, you can almost feel it. You feel the end of the Obama era, the Obama malaise, the Obama doctrine, the Obama division, the Obama Marxism, the Obama puppets. The Obama racism, just nonstop. It feels so good. I feel like we're done with that chapter. I don't think Obama comes back. Hopefully he doesn't. But I've seen all those, Mike Myers or Chucky, Jason Voorhees. They always come back. The worst of the worst. They always pop up from back behind the bush when you thought they were done. But it really feels like we're onto something different. You're not super aware of the 250th anniversary party, though?
No, I was not, but that does sound pretty awesome. So I will look forward to that. It's just good to have him back and somebody who cares about the country, because before it was just like we're just self-hating and everything's getting worse and we're sending all of our tax money overseas and it was just getting stupid here for too long. So it's good to have Trump back. It
really is. Let me let Trump talk about it in his own words. I haven't watched this in a while, but you got me thinking, so here it is.
3 years from now, the United States will celebrate the biggest and most important milestone in our country's history.
And by the way, Trump is just like Reagan in the respect that he's a cheerleader. He's supposed to make you feel good about your country. What do Democrats and Marxists and Obamas, Pelosi's, they just push division, hatred, racism. They want you to hate the body you were born in, hate the child that's growing inside of you, hate the country that you live in, they teach you self-loathing. People say Catholics are self-loathing. There's nobody more self-loathing than someone who's swallowed the Democrat poison to hate themselves on every level. Anyway, I just appreciate that Trump is forward-thinking and it gets you motivated. It gets you excited to be an American.
250 years of American independence. What a great country. And we have to keep it that way. But that's why, as a nation, we should be preparing for a most spectacular birthday party. We want to make it the best of all time. Here is my plan to give America's founding in 1776 the incredible anniversary it truly deserves.
Here we go. He's a planner. He's a builder. He puts things into motion.
On day one, I will convene a White House task force called Salute to America 250. It will be responsible for coordinating with state and local governments to ensure not just one day of celebration, but an entire year of festivities across the nation, starting on Memorial Day 2025 and continuing through July 4th, 2026.
And by the way, at our 250th birthday party in 26, that's also when I think Trump has set the deadline for Doge to implement all of their cuts. So it's going to be a celebration of trimming all of the bloat and bureaucracy out of our unable to afford it government.
Second, I will work with all 50 governors, Republican and Democrat alike, to create the Great American State Fair, a unique one-year exhibition featuring pavilions from all 50 states. It'll be something. The Great American State Fair will showcase the glory of every state in the Union, promote pride in our history, and put forth innovative visions for America's future.
God, imagine pride in your history. That's the exact opposite of how these people just browbeat all the kids, these poor elementary kids, middle school, high school, college kids, hate everything about America, everything about America's birth and creation and their struggles to where we are today. It's all bad. It's all evil. We need Marxism. Erase it all. Burn down every statue. Change every street name. It's like so Orwellian. But Trump's
right.
We
need critical race theory taught at your school by a drag queen for your elementary kids. Yeah,
exactly.
My hope is that the amazing people of Iowa will work with my administration to open up the legendary Iowa State Fairgrounds to host the Great American State Fair and welcome millions and millions of visitors from around the world to the heartland of America for this special one-time festival.
What a great party. And he, I had the conversation the other day. I drove past something in Louisville and I said, see that building right there? I said, when I get that lottery money, when I'm good to go, that's where I'm going to put the headquarters for the New American Media. And the comment was, well, why wouldn't you do it in New York or Los Angeles? I'm like, because I've lived there and I don't think they're as important as they think they are. I would love to show more love to Kentucky, to Iowa, to normal America. America's way more than 7 large blue states on the left coast and right coast. America's about everything in between.
Together we will build it and they will come. Third, alongside the Great American State Fair, we will host major sporting contests for high school athletes. These are great athletes, wonderful athletes from fantastic high schools all around the country. These Patriot Games will allow young Americans from every state to show off the best of American skills, sportsmanship, and competitive spirit.
Patriot Games.
Fourth, I will sign an executive order to bring back our National Garden of American Heroes, which we want to build very badly. Commission artists for the first 100 statues to populate this new statuary park honoring the greatest Americans of all time. Fifth, as president, I will invite the leaders and citizens of nations around the world to visit the United States in honor of our 250th anniversary. It's going to be great. America's tourist industry should get ready because we're going to have a lot of people coming. It will be a record year. And finally, and most importantly, I will ask America's great religious communities to pray for our nation and our people as we prepare for this momentous occasion. From the very beginning, America has been a country sustained and strengthened by prayer and by our communities of faith. As we chart a course toward the next 250 years, let us come together and rededicate ourselves as one nation under God. Thank you.
I mean, Blake, it's just like the Republicans have ideas that they used to always be. They would say the Democrats are the party of bad ideas and the Republicans are the party of no ideas. But now it's like from Elon to Vivek, Trump himself, go down the list. It's like you're hearing great idea after great idea. And I've maybe never been this excited about America before.
Yeah, that sounds like a good reason. Yeah, I could agree with that. It's a different Republican Party, so they've gotten rid of these old school classic and the neocons. So, dare I say, a more progressive Republican Party. That word has been destroyed by radical leftists. But no, I'm all for it.
Oh, absolutely. Let me just play one last thing, and we'll move through. This is the third attempt to upload this video onto YouTube. YouTube does not like that we're sharing the clip from UFC over the weekend where Joe Rogan made a comment. You would not believe how loud this place is. And that's newsworthy, and we're allowed to provide commentary and analysis on it covered under fair use. YouTube keeps flagging the content. We're not running a secondary stream. We're not illegally streaming like Antonio Brown did, allegedly, with the Tyson-Jake Paul fight. If you want to see the video, go to Rumble. Please get off of YouTube. Rumble is like the good YouTube before Google destroyed it. Go to rumble.com/thenewamericanmedia and subscribe to us there. You can watch this clip. It's roughly at about the 52.5-minute mark. But it's also significant that we pointed out that Republicans have become the cool kids. When have Republicans ever been cool in our lifetime? Blake said maybe Reagan. Reagan was cool to a certain degree, and he had that flair and he had the humor, but nothing like this resurgence from Trump. Elon, Vivek, Sage Steele, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr. All these people are coming out ringside. Trump, John Jones does the Trump dance. He gives Trump the belt, and Trump is finally getting some much deserved appreciation for the job that he's done as president and changing course. So check out the full video there. We clipped it out. Here's the rest. And it hits different decibels when Trump's there. That's for damn sure. My friend Tony says, it's great. That was a decent one. Okay. Anyway, I just want to give Trump some kudos. The universe seems to be healing. A lot of the angriest people are taking themselves out of the dating pool, so swearing off men. We don't want kids. Okay. So like the abortion industry is going down the tubes because they're not. It's just like America is changing in a way that I could have never imagined it happening so quickly, but here we are. Okay, so let's just jump into our last couple stories here, Blake. I know you're being a trooper today. You're being a super trooper. You have a show coming up tonight, right?
I do in about, I guess, 2.5 hours from now. It's
all right.
Sneaking up here, Toxically Masculine Tuesday. Yes, with Mike Barra and Steve Doran, the trail boss, and Dr. Brooks Agnew, and along with myself, covering the latest news and current events.
Yeah.
8 o'clock Central Time. So check that out on X, Twitter, Mike Barra.
Yes, do that thing. All right, let's cover the last couple stories we have here, and we'll let you rest up for that endeavor this evening. Here we go. Well, Blake, it's not all sunshine, lollipops, rainbows, and Kid Rock and everything that's beautiful when we're together with Donald Trump. There are some people across the country who do not believe that deportations should occur for people who are illegally in the country, hence in need of being deported. Things are changing, and we're seeing the battle lines being drawn. But the question is, agree or disagree, should we utilize the military for mass deportations? Agree or disagree, we should use the military for mass deportations. What say you?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, for the people that are here, obviously illegally, or if they've got criminal charges, I guess there's been a lot of them that have already been given a notice for deportation, and those are the ones that really need to be prioritized, not necessarily in favor of just going after innocent people and families. I get why people would want to make the trip, but they should have been vetted before they came here. I mean, maybe we can keep a lot of them, but we have to know who they are and what their intentions are and what they've been up to since they've been here. Are they going to be good citizens? And then if we are, then they can't be allowed. They still can't be allowed to vote for, I don't know, at least 12 years or something. There's got to be something in place, because these people were used to become a new voting bloc. This was a strategic move by the Democrats to pretend like nothing was wrong while they let millions of people over the border. And now they're going to what? We can't send them back. They weren't supposed to be here in the first place, except they incentivized them too. So it's going to be a messy situation. It's not going to be fun for anybody. And I don't know. I wouldn't be in favor of internment camps or some of the way, but I think a lot of that's just fear mongering about potentialities, because it's logistically it's going to be a headache, but this can be done, and
it's been done before,
right?
I mean there's a reason why you don't just open the door to anybody that wants to go anywhere they please. It's always a bad idea. Ask Lake and Riley. Ask the people. I had a friend that their car was parked outside yesterday, got hit. It was an illegal alien. Him, his kid, a grandmother, drunk off his ass, no driver's license, no permit to drive, should have never been behind the wheel, should have never been behind the wheel drunk, should have never been in this country. That's a crime that should have never. Their lives spiral into a whole bunch of chaos now. Rental cars, hassles, deductibles, all of it. That's not even to mention what was happening in Springfield when the Haitian, I believe it was a Haitian illegal alien, check the stats, I believe it was, hit that school bus and ejected a kid who died in a car accident. He should have never been in the country. He didn't have his driver's license. He shouldn't have been behind the wheel of a car, and he killed an American kid. Yeah, well, it's not like only illegals kill people. Well, yeah, but those people would have absolutely been fine if that person never snuck into America. So, yeah, I mean, it's reaching a boiling point now. But anybody who thought Trump was kidding about committing to protecting our border and undoing the damage of Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Barack Hussein Obama, along with Mayorkas and Garland, they got another thing coming. Do you have this clip here with Jennings on CNN? Yeah, they get into it a little bit.
Yeah, he's been a delight to watch on CNN. I'm surprised they let him on, but yes, it's good for people to see a different point of view on that channel. Otherwise, they're pretty insulated, and I don't think they have anything like that on MSNBC. So, but let's check this out as Scott Jennings, that you mentioned him earlier, and they were kind of maybe perhaps floated around as a press secretary, but yeah, he's been doing a phenomenal job pushing back on the crazy woke leftists on CNN shows. And here he goes with this one, talking about the logistics of mass deportations.
Some of this, and think about this. The challenge of sorting through them is mammoth. We had a hard time doing it in Iraq. Okay, our troops have had a hard time doing it in Afghanistan. trying to ask them to sort through who's who and implement a policy like this, hold on, here in the United States is like nothing we've ever seen.
Actually,
I mean, hold on, maybe the only precedent we have is internment camps during World War II against Japanese Americans, but there's not a military precedent for sorting through who on the Upper East Side is an illegal and who's not. And you're asking a 19-year-old, right, holding a weapon, who signed up to serve his or her country, to thrust themselves into maybe the most fraught political topic that we've got in this country. People want a solution, but they don't necessarily want that one.
You've twice now insinuated that Trump's going to send the military to round up American citizens, which is totally false. There are 1.3 to 1.6 million illegal immigrants in this country today who have already received deportation orders from a court. You can start there. There's another population, as Mark said, that have either committed violent crimes in the United States or committed violent crimes where they came from. You can also do that. That has nothing to do with the people in your neighborhood, has nothing to do with the person in your office, and has nothing to do with whatever the hell you're talking about. It has to do with getting people out of the country who do not belong.
How are you going to deploy the military? Give me how exactly you would deploy an active duty military unit to respond to this crisis.
I would use the military in conjunction with local officials,
what does that look like?
Local law enforcement, county sheriffs, people who know their communities, because I assume a lot of the local sheriffs and jailers are going to be the people who end up housing some of these folks before they are deported. But there has to be
What's the task and purpose? What's the mission for that young private? What is he actually going to be tasked to do? Guard a gate? Or is he going to be investigating?
I don't know. I wasn't elected
But you're sitting here on CNN saying we should do it. I think you should think out a little bit more about what they actually should be required to do. It sounds real good.
One at a time. Scott, quickly.
There are millions of people who came into the country illegally, who have already received deportation orders, or who have committed some other crime while they've been here. The fact that you want to leave them in place is mind-boggling.
That is not what I said. That is not what I said.
Let me ask the same question I asked Chuck.
Yeah.
What was the mandate from the election? As much as any issue, immigration was on the ballot. So what do you think the voters were saying on immigration?
I think the voters were saying do something about it. I think broadly across partisan lines, there is almost universal need for people to do something about it. What you do about it is a totally different story. Can I finish? Or are you guys going to jump in there?
Yeah, that wraps up.
Yeah.
I mean, logistically, it's going to work how it's going to work. I don't know. I mean, there's 1.3, did they say? 1.3 million that have
that have already been given orders. So start there. Those people should not be in there. Anybody with some kind of a criminal record should be rounded up and removed. They're a danger to the public.
Agreed.
So we put people like that in jail, but yet they're free and they're roaming around and we don't know where they are. So, yeah, if we have to use the military, then use the military.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Like, of course. And you work in conjunction with the local teams that know their local areas the best. And you just provide support and you get to work. And you bill the Democrat Party for everything, the DNC. If you can bankrupt Alex Jones because he had the wrong story and his listeners became abusive or something, okay, surely you can bankrupt the Democrat Party for the damage they've caused to America. Look at Lake and Riley. Nobody died because Alex Jones had a shit opinion on a shit story. The Democrat Party has blood all over their hands, all over their bodies, all over the living room, smeared on the walls. It's splattered on the ceiling. You're swimming in blood in the Democrat Party because of the carnage they created. If you can bankrupt Alex Jones, you sure as hell can bankrupt the DNC. Yeah, I'm not here to be nice. There's no being nice with these people, Blake. There's no go along to get along. These people hate you. They hate us. They hate this country. They hate everything. The Democrat Party has earned the right to get sued into oblivion and build back. Here we go. Instead of build back better, how about we build them back better? We'll build them back better. I like this. Build them back better. We had better build them back. Now I feel like I'm doing an Eminem skit here, but I really think there's a precedent here for it. Maybe if we had an attorney general who was Johnny on the spot, that might make a difference, huh? Maybe. What if Matt Gaetz were in charge? Would he build back better and make sure the Democrats are bankrupted for the blood on their hands across our communities? Blake, agree or disagree that Matt Gaetz is the Judge Dredd that America needs? Agree or disagree? Gaetz is the Judge Dredd that America needs.
Well, I've never actually seen the movie, and I'm not really much of a comic book guy. But you know what? I'll just run with it. Yeah, we need somebody to go in there and shake things up, and certainly he's shown he's very capable of making high-level people squirm in front of Congress. So that's exactly what we need. So I'm down for it.
Agree.
People are freaking out about it. They're trying to bring up, this case against him that he assaulted a minor or whatever, but that didn't seem to get anywhere, even though they did kind of put him on ice and stop him. He had a weird scandal going on, but as far as I could tell, he was exonerated from that. They're still trying to use that. Now they're going to try to bring up, this ethics committee showdown, but we'll get to that here in a minute. Okay, we can put that together. That's from Marjorie Taylor Greene. But certainly, yes. Yes, you need somebody to go in there and shake things up, and he seems like he is cut out for that. So what do you think, Brian?
Let's go. Can we please just get started? Can it please just be January 21st already? Can we just get started? We have got to put things back on track. There is so much positivity, momentum right now, rolling right downhill. And by the way, if you did you see Musk with Trump today? These guys are like becoming best friends, my man. Did you see what they got into?
I know they spent a lot of time together. I think they had like the whole weekend in Mar-a-Lago, if I remember right, him and Vivek. So they're going to be working closely on this whole Doge thing and promoting the government efficiency. So I like it.
By the way, I went and bought some Doge for the first time this morning,
Really?
last night. I'm hearing it 1,000 times a day. It can't do anything but go up to the moon. Look at that. There's the rocket going to the moon, Doge to the moon. I think it was 39 cents or something. I wish I would have got it when it was 0.0000000. And then I could, 50x my $100. No, I'm sorry. If it's 0.00000, I would have 5 quadrillioned it, and I could live on an island, a non-pedo island. Maybe I'd be the first person to have a non-pedo island. Oh, but hang on real quick. Oh, what do you got? Crypto market coins.
How's the crypto market today? Yeah, Doge had up 5% again today. It's huge, and it has pumped a lot in the last couple of weeks.
And you're going to see a lot more of it, I promise, because we're hearing the word Doge 1 trillion times a day. People will be thinking about it, and people will be moving over to it. This is Trump watching, steely-eyed Trump watching the takeoff. Here's the two feeds. Like that. Trump's being a cool guy. Now he's starting to grin. I mean, you can't help. Blake, have you ever seen a takeoff? Have you ever been to like a launch of anything?
No. You?
I can't say that I have either, but I've heard they're pretty powerful. Just kind of witness. It like reverberates in your chest. You can just feel it. There's an energy in the air. America is back, Blake. Back. Going to the moon and the Mars and everywhere in between. I don't know. I didn't feel that optimism under Joe Biden.
Hell no.
Hell no. So anyway, what were you showing us? You're showing us with Trump and Doge and Elon. You had that up, and it just reminded me because I was going to show that. Talking about Matt Gaetz calling him Judge Dredd.
Yep, that would be it. And there it goes. Elon Musk says he's Gaetz is the Judge Dredd America needs, highlighting the 3 qualities he believed made him ideal for the role. So it's a 1970s comic book character, and then they had a movie with Sylvester Stallone in the crime-ridden dystopia of Mega City 1. There's an old cartoon there from the comic book. It says he's got a big brain, a spine of steel, and an axe to grind. He's the Judge Dredd America needs to clean up a corrupt system and put powerful bad actors in prison. So let's hope, we could say Christopher Wray or John Brennan. There's so many. James Clapper, James Comey. Oh man, there's a lot that are going to have to perhaps face the music one day.
You mentioned Comey, and I did want to just mention that. Where's he at? Or was it Brennan? I think it was Brennan. Do you see what he was saying today about Tulsi?
Yeah, he's been quite critical of.
Yeah, let me play this clip because this was a big story as well, and then we can hit our last one and wrap it up here. But this is important because this guy's in the top 100 list of traitors that needs to face justice for his treason and his coups. Inside with Jen Psaki on MSNBC with this guy. Man, everything about this frame is a joke. Let's hear it.
So let me just start with Tulsi Gabbard, because you served as the CIA director for 4 years. What would having her in charge or in the role of director of national intelligence mean for the intelligence apparatus of the U.S. government?
I think there's so much uncertainty about what Ms. Gabbard would bring to the job. As you pointed out, she has been an apologist for Vladimir Putin.
Is Tulsi an apologist for Vladimir Putin? Do you get that vibe, Blake?
That's ridiculous, and it's so stupid. Only people in that little bubble would actually believe that bullshit. And for somebody who's in the former CIA, he knows he's up there lying. He is an apologist.
Exactly.
As you pointed,
he's been the ringleader of the liars.
Well, he's a villain, like straight out of Central Casting. I mean, if this was a movie, there's the bad guy. Pretty obvious. You can't get more obvious than that. It's like just a real life caricature.
Well said. Like Judge Dredd and this guy.
Certainty about what Ms. Gabbard would bring to the job. As you pointed out, she has been an apologist for Vladimir Putin, Bashar al-Assad. So many of her substantive...
Bashar al-Assad, when the U.S. was trying to start a proxy war with, guess who? Russia in Syria under Obama, Clinton, and Victoria Nuland. Again, they have got a hard-on for war.
Yeah, and they accused Assad. Yeah, they accused Assad of using chemical weapons against his own people.
It's so they accused Putin of blowing up his own pipeline.
Yeah.
They're the dumbest people out there with the dumbest cover stories. They're clearly the bad guys here. Clearly.
Comments as well as previous actions have called into question whether or not she has a good understanding of global politics and the U.S. role there. But also
a good understanding of U.S. politics and the U.S.'s world politics and the U.S. role there. No, he's saying that she might disagree with your interpretation of what America's role should be. She has a different opinion. That doesn't make her evil.
She doesn't have any experience in intelligence. She has never served in the intelligence community.
Blake, doesn't Tulsi Gabbard have an experience with intelligence? Didn't she end up on a certain list recently?
Yeah, she did end up on like a terror watch list. Now, I don't know exactly her entire military record. I don't know if she served in naval intelligence, but I don't really care. So, you know what? I'm good to have some outsiders come and shake things up.
And somebody who's been persecuted unfairly, illegally, unconstitutionally by the idiots like you.
Community. And the Director of National Intelligence is somebody who sits on top of the 18 departments and agencies and needs to orchestrate these agencies so that they collaborate, so that they coordinate, so that they're able to pursue the national security priorities in an effective fashion. So they need to have some understanding of the human intelligence, technical signals intelligence, geospatial intelligence, and other types of things. And she has none of that. And third, she doesn't have the executive leadership experience of running a large organization. And under the Director of National Intelligence comes the National Counterterrorism Center, National Counterintelligence Center, Counterproliferation, Malign Influence Center as well. So there's just a lot of responsibilities. And so the people, the professionals that are in these 18 intelligence agencies want to have confidence that the person who sits on top of them, and that person by law is the president's principal intelligence advisor, is going to be carrying out the duties in a qualified way, but also in a apolitical, objective fashion. And I think there are serious questions that have been raised about Ms. Gabbard's ability to do that based on her lack of experience, as well as her very questionable comments that she has made and statements, trafficking and conspiracy theories as well.
So let me
she's trafficking in conspiracy theories because she's not agreeing with their conspiracy theories. Did you catch that? Try to unpack that part.
No, yeah. Well, let's bring it all out to the light and let's decide on that one. It should be pretty obvious who the conspiracy theorists actually were.
Agreed. So in that regard, whether Judge Dredd, Matt Gaetz coming in with an axe to grind, and people that are guilty as sin, dead to rights, as they say. Oh my gosh, Trump called for a bloodbath. No, he said the auto manufacturing will be a bloodbath. They used it colloquially. Should we release all ethic reports instead of the selected ones, Blake? With Matt.
Yeah, I get that sounds reasonable. This comes from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let me pull this up because they're going after Gaetz pretty hard. They're afraid of him. They don't want him in there, so they're trying to selectively release an ethic report on him about that potentially scandalous rumor that turned out not to go anywhere. Looks like they tried to set him up. So she sent this warning to Congress: if you're going to be selectively releasing this, why don't you just release everything? So she had a strong message for those who want to release only the ethics reports they think will harm Trump's prospective appointees. They should be prepared to release all ethics reports from the House and Senate for the American people to see. House Ethics Committee was going to release a report on Gaetz last Friday, but because he resigned from Congress, they lost their jurisdiction. So they've been selectively leaking parts of the report, and now there's a hacker. It's got the documents allegedly. They've denied the allegations and declined to bring charges over after investigating the matter. Gaetz has been exonerated of criminal accusations from a while ago. And then so she went scorched earth, saying about ethics reports and claims, including, I guess she filed one from sexual harassment and assault claims that they were secretly settled. They were paying off victims with taxpayer money, and the entire Jeffrey Epstein files, tapes, recordings, witnesses, interviews, and not just those. Epstein wasn't the only asset. And if we're going to dance, let's all dance in the sunlight. I'll make sure that she's going to put that stuff out there. Yeah, I guess U.S. taxpayers have shelled out over $15 million to settle sexual harassment lawsuits against members of Congress. Isn't that amazing? So you can get elected to Congress, you can go and sexually harass your interns, and if you get caught, well, you can use taxpayer money to pay off the hush money, make it go away.
So, hush money payments. That's a big crime now, right? Oh no, just when you're trying to keep Trump out of office. You can enter into a contract with somebody unless you're Donald Trump. Yeah, that got delayed again, right? They pushed another Trump hearing back. It was supposed to be.
That's like 2 years or something. Forget about it. It's a goner. So
stupid.
See, yeah, they had no case. And then, now that he's won, what are they going to do now? Going to go after a sitting president with that BS lawfare tactic? It's not going to fly. So anyway, that's that. So I would agree. Let's just bring it all out anyway. But you can't selectively do it. Otherwise, it's just hypocrisy, especially if it's coming from people that have themselves actually done things and they had to pay it to make it go away because they knew they were dead to rights. Now with Gaetz, it looks like it was manufactured and they try to set him up. But we'll see what this hacker stuff says. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I do definitely want to believe him innocent until proven guilty. I'd like the idea of him taking over as the AG. So let's hope it amounts to nothing. Otherwise, he'll have some serious questions to answer so that we can trust him. I mean, he does sound like he's got a few issues. He sounds like he might be kind of a frat boy, or he's done some goofy stuff in the past, and that's fine as long as it was all with consenting adults, unless they tried to set him up with a minor. But that was, I don't know. So we'll see on that one. That was with his buddy, but he went through the ringer on that stuff. So
and the story is that he was cleared of it, but every time somebody of prominence tries to take, it's just Washington runs on blackmail and bribery. It just runs on blackmail and bribery and threats, coercion, honeypots. It's all a slimy game. Talking about honeypots, we have one final story in the stack. What about this honeypot? Ooh, Sarah McBride. She's got a nice honeypot. Huh?
You'd like to be locked in the bathroom with her.
So Sarah
In the
McBride
weekend
is
in
a
a
human who
DC
was
bathroom with Sarah McBride.
okay. So this person that goes by Sarah McBride, they weren't born Sarah McBride. They were born a man, and they changed their name, and they prefer to go by this new name. Is that the story?
I believe so. It's the first. Is it the first? Yes, the trans rep elect Sarah McBride will not be allowed to use the women's restroom in DC on Capitol Hill if Nancy Mace has her way. So the radical woke left up in arms after a brave congresswoman took a bold stance because she didn't want to be in the same bathroom with a man who has a penis but dresses like a woman, so they're just supposed to look the other way. It's got to be uncomfortable. And so it's the latest spectacle there.
I used a restroom. Well, okay, I've been to concerts where it's anyway. Let me think of what I'm trying to say here. I went to one restroom. I'm trying to remember where the hell that was, Vegas or LA or something. And it was like this big open bathroom, and it was just kind of like a free for all. And there was no men's and there was no women's, and like you shared the mirrors and the hand washing, and it was just go wherever you feel like going. And it's like, I didn't like being there. I didn't like it any more than I like when someone goes, "Hey, can you hand me that purse? Hand me my purse." I go, "No. I don't touch purses. I don't want to be in the place where 6 employees have their purse. Oh, I saw him reaching in there. I know Brian was in there. I'm missing something out of my purse. Nope. I'm never touching it. No, just get me the blue one. Nope. If I pick it up and you didn't zip it, things are going to fall all over. I don't touch purses. I don't want to have anything to do with it."
They ran out of tampons in the boys' bathroom, so you start digging through the purses, right?
I get Tim Walls right on this one.
Yep.
We need more tampons, Timmy, in the men's restroom over here. Yeah, so Nancy Mace, she's pretty. Where's she out of? Georgia, Florida. Where's she from?
South Carolina, I think.
Where's she from? Blake will look it up. No, but look, Nancy Mace gets a lot of things right, and we have to restore sanity here. It's okay if you have gender dysphoria. I don't think that means anybody should be bullied or abused or by any means physically harmed. And your part in this process is you need to leave the women safe in their space. The kids, the daughters, you need to leave the women safe in their space. Don't go creeping in there, period. That's non-negotiable. And remember, they fired Kurt Schilling from ESPN, ABC, Disney, because he shared a meme about a transgender, about a guy in a girl's bathroom. ESPN, ABC, Disney hated that. They wanted you to support that. I don't support that. Never have, never will. Leave the ladies alone. Now, I don't enjoy peeing or pooping in a room full of ladies. Look, you're better off if the dudes are segregated away from you, ladies. Honestly, it's gross. But I could tolerate being in a room pooping and peeing with some ladies there more, but it still makes me uncomfortable. And on average, put 10 men and 10 women together. Could all 10 men beat up those 10 women? I don't know. 9 of them could. Like, especially if you're in a position where there could be predatory behavior. You do not want to be naked, half naked, getting dressed, getting undressed, tucking things in. You need a private space. So guys with gender dysphoria, stay out of there, please. Comb time in the bathroom.
You want to stand next to Sarah McBride at the urinal?
I did. Blake, who's the most famous person you stood in a urinal next to?
Quentin Tarantino? No.
Hey. Where was that?
He's a couple down. He was a couple down. I don't know. Is some or am I even allowed to say that? Did I sign an NDA? I'm not allowed to talk. No, I worked a lot of Hollywood parties, so I did see a lot of famous people. Usually, the employees had their own separate restroom area. We didn't, commingle with the big stars, but at a few events, that's just the way it was. So just made do. It wasn't a big deal, but anyway.
Yeah, I had the guy from Black Keys. The guy with the glasses. What's his name?
Yeah, Patrick Carney. He's like 6'7" or something.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He was right over there. I waited until I was out of the restroom, and then I talked to him as we walked. We were in an airplane. We were going back to Cleveland, Ohio. He's from Akron, or roughly around that area. And Martin Short at the Oscar party. He was right next to me, right after he didn't tip me. So that was kind of.
Oh, really?
I didn't say anything to him. But yeah, I digress. Yeah, you just got to keep men out of these lady spaces. That's non-negotiable. Keep these men out of sports. I'm sorry, Obama. Nobody bought your push. You gave everything you had trying to convince people, Michael, Michelle, whatever you're trying to convince people of, that we all need to accept your thing. We're not. It's just biology. And like I said, I'm not going to bully. I'm not going to demean. I'm not going to talk trash. I'm not going to try to, by any means, no physical harm. People need to be safe in who they are. But the second part of that equation is men. You don't go making women unsafe where they are. Stay out of the bathrooms. Stay out of the sports leagues. That's it. It's pretty straightforward. Do as thou wilt. Just don't harm anybody else. That's the libertarian philosophy, right, Blake?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, good. All right. So Nancy Mace, bravo too. Did you figure out where she's from?
Yeah, she's from South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina. Thank you. I didn't quite make sure.
At least that's where she represents. Maybe she's from another state, but yeah, I think so.
Gotcha. All right. Well, cool. Thank you, everybody, for being here on today's episode of the Agree to Disagree show. Blake, tell everybody about the show you're doing tonight, where to follow you on socials. By the way, Blake doesn't like to tell you, but if you would like to support independent journalism, you can go ahead and find him. He's on Cash App, $Blake W99. Send him some love. Say hello, because nobody works harder. Blake, tell people about the show tonight, where they can find you, and the documentary that we finished, because it's an important documentary. It's important to watch, I think.
All right. Yes, the documentary is when we went to North Carolina with our friend Grizzly, and he showed us the disaster areas. We made a little mini documentary to show them, regrouping and getting the community together to help each other out with the new supply lines, because they weren't getting much help from FEMA. So yeah, that was cool. Documentary can be found on my website, thenextlevelnews.com, or YouTube, one of either my channel or Brian's channel. It's in a few various areas.
And what's it called again?
We're checking out. Huh?
What's it called again?
Hurricane Helene, help is on the way.
Help on the way. Yes. Hurricane Helene, help on the way. Definitely check that out. You gave him the Next Level News site with your archive. Where else should people follow you? You said
Twitter is the best spot. Twitter X, TV's Blake Walley. Yeah, that's a good spot. And yes, I will be doing another show in about 2 hours, Toxically Masculine Tuesday, with Mike Barra, Trail Boss Steve Doran, and Dr. Brooks Agnew. So coming up soon, we'll have more latest news and current events.
Heck yeah. Awesome. Go check out that show. It's always fun. I've been a guest, a pinch hitter occasionally, an Alvaro Espinoza utility infielder. You can be called upon to play third or short or second. Just let me know, coach. I'll be around. So yeah,
That's been a long time. It's from like the 80s, right? 90s?
90s, yeah. Alvaro Espinoza. He was a good utility player. But anyway, yeah, check out that show and check out Blake's stuff in all of the places. We're gonna wrap it up for now. Blake, I will let you go, and I will tell ladies love him, girls adore him. I mean, even the ones who never saw him like the way that he rhymes at a show. The reason why, man, I don't know. So let's go, Blake. It's
sure.
Like to make a thing go right. Okay, I'm not going to keep singing. Thank you. But special thanks to Kenneth and everybody else in the chat room leaving their comments. Blake, you go take a nap, good sir. You've had a good one. And I will talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
There you go, everyone. TV's Blake Walley. Make sure you're linked up with him. Okay, so make sure you find the New American Media in all of the places, please. I mentioned if you want to send anything over on Venmo, it's at Brian Engelman, BrianEngelman. That's pretty cool. Thank you so much. If anyone wants to contribute, or patreon.com/the New American Media. Sign up to be a monthly supporter of our work. You go to our private Facebook page, TNAM's The Agree to Disagree Show. Go on youtube.com/at the New American Media. Go to our new Rumble account, the New American Media. Download the Agree to Disagree podcast on Spotify. Follow the New American Media on X at American_media_. We're on Truth Social as well. And on Telegram and Signal at TNAM and TNAM Chat. TNAM and TNAM Chat. So thank you to everybody out there. Definitely had a good time with you today. I do not like TNAM and eggs. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. T. Nam and Scram. I did buy some ham yesterday. I haven't had ham in a while. All right. I'm done hamming it up for you. Thanks to Blake Walley, Kenneth, and everybody else in the TNAM radio universe. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk to you again soon. Take care.